In this part, we are going to make our API much more practical by adding pagination, filtering, and sorting. Right now, we call the getProducts endpoint. We return all products at once. This may work for a small dataset, but in real-world applications, this is not scalable. APIs should return data in smaller chunks and allow clients to control what they receive. So in this video, we will add a support for pagination using page and pageSize, filtering by product name and price range, and sorting results by different fields like price or name. First, we create a DTO to present query parameters coming from the client. Instead of passing multiple parameters separately, we group them into a single object. This makes the code cleaner and easier to extend. We define page and size for pagination. Search will be used to filter by product name. Min price and max price allow filtering by price range. Sort by defines which field we sort on, and descending controls the sorting direction. Now we update the service interface. Instead of returning just a list of products, we return a tuple containing data and the total count. The total count is important because when using pagination, the client needs to know how many total records exist to calculate the number of pages. We start by converting the products table into an iQueryable. This is very important because it allows us to build the query step by step. Instead of executing immediately, the query will be running when the call to list is synced later. Next, we apply filtering by product name. If the client provides a search term, we filter products where the name contains that term. This allows simple text search functionality. So, now we add filtering by price range. If min price is provided, we only keep products with a price greater than or equal to that value. If max price is provided, we keep products with a price less than or equal to that value. This allows client to search for products within a specific budget. Before applying pagination, we can count the total numbers of records. This is very important because pagination reduces the numbers of returned items, but the client still needs to know the total number of matching results. Now we apply sorting. We use a switch expression based on the sort by parameter. If the client asks to sort by price or name, we apply the corresponding ordering. We also support ascending and descending order using the descending flag. If no sorting is specified, we default the sorting by ID. Finally, we apply pagination. Skip tells the database how many records to ignore, and take defines how many records to return. This ensures that our API only returns a small subset of data instead of the entire dataset. After retrieving the data, we map the product entities into product DTOs object using the automapper. We can return both of the data and the total count as a tuple. Now we update the controller. We use the from key attribute to bind the query parameters from the URL to our product query parameters object. Then we call the service and receive both of the data and the total count. Finally, we return a clean response that includes the data, the total count, current page, and page size. Now let's test the endpoint in Swagger. So API products. So here we can see that the page size, search, min, and max price sorting by already added to our controller. So let's try it out. So the page page 1, page size, for example 4. For the search, we can search for PC, and sorting by we can add true. So execute, and here we can find that we have only one PC and total count equal to 1, page 1 and page size equal to 4. So here we can delete this and execute again, and here we can find that he is returning 4 elements and the sorting with the term is already working. At this point, our API is more powerful. We added pagination, filtering, and sorting, which are essential features for handling large dataset in real-world application. So for the tasks, sorting already done, text cap, we did that, filtering, and pagination.